everyone, welcome back to the Cheap channel, the channel dedicated to all things cheap in the world of fragrances. And today's video is going to be very exciting. I just put up Christmas decorations. It's very late right now. I could be going to bed, but I really could not wait anymore. And you'll see why. I just got a little package in from a place called Fragrance Buy. Maybe you've heard about it. I did a live stream last month where I took in all of your suggestions. I tried to talk with you back and forth and just had a good time too, but I wanted to see what it was that you wanted me to blind buy and try out. And then I also did a community post later, right before I put in the order, just to make sure if there was anything else you want me to add in before I did it. Of course, my budget was gonna be around like $100, but I tried to get what I could. I really cannot wait to open this. It's been here for about a couple days now, and I've just had it sitting on my desk here, have not touched it, haven't looked in it, none of that. So I'm just gonna go ahead, start opening it and talk with you through it, I guess, as I'm opening it. Everything you're gonna see in this video is a live reaction. And so this video might be a little lengthy because I'm trying to review all of these. All right, all the packing peanuts and all the air cushions. Of course, I put in to do the, green care where you pay 72 cents extra, get insurance on your package, and you also get a free sample. So I'm excited to see what the sample is gonna be. Here we are here with all the suggestions that you guys gave, which wasn't too many. Hopefully maybe way later on I'll get a lot more suggestions and be able to buy more. There was one of these that was not a suggestion, but it was one that I personally wanted to get and maybe be a nice surprise. Hidden here is that little bitty sample. Let me see what they got on it now. So Fragrance Buy has been doing different kind of samples lately. So they don't do the card samples, I guess, anymore, where it's actually the sample from the actual fragrance house. But I guess they're doing these decants now because they're now partnering up with a certain decant service. I know the last sample I got was actually of Nitro Red by Dumont Paris, and it was really good though. I really did like it. It's hyped, so you're kidding me. Okay, so this one is a sample of Gisada Ambassador Intense. I am very excited. It's a niche fragrance. I've seen a lot about this one too, and I'm very excited. But here we are here, guys. These here, I'm not gonna give out all the names just yet. I'll go through them as I open them up and talk about them. We'll just start with this first one here, which is Jacques Bogart's One Man Show Ruby Edition. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and warn you, I am not gonna be able to remember everyone that, the names of the ones who gave these suggestions out, so I'm not even gonna try to guess. You know who you are. If you were on my live stream or if you commented in the community post, you'll see the one that you commented and suggested on here. The one who commented and suggested this one, I was pretty sure it was on my live stream. You know who you are, so just be watching for this one. And here you go, the typical Jacques Bogart One Man Show presentation. It's a little scuffed up actually. I've actually got a few of the One Man Show ones. I have One Man Show Gold Edition, which is not my cup of tea. Very strong animalic leathers, spices, and woods, very musky, very old school. But now One Man Show Oud Edition I have starts off being very leathery, but it dries down being a nice leather, very spicy, and a little bit, again, that woody oudness, but it's a lot smoother. I do want to get the original One Man Show, but I almost got it, but I decided to just go ahead and go with this one since this was a recommendation. By the way, I have my handy dandy tester strips here. I will not be trying all these out on skin yet, and that's something I'm going to talk about later in the video. I know that when I spray this, it is going to fill the room because these One Man Show flankers are super strong. I think everything that Jacques Bogart does is very strong, so I'm gonna be very careful with how I spray this one. I can already smell it. It has that distinct One Man Show kind of a musky, animalic, retro kind of smell, even though this one I think came out recently. Not too recent, but fairly recently. Let's go in for a sniff. Oh well, okay. Very fresh, a lot sweeter. This is the sweeter of the flankers I've smelled so far. Almost fruity sweet, actually. A lot more citric. Yeah, not bad. Definitely still has that air of spice about it, the same kind of spicy accords that's used in the other One Man Show ones, the same kind of almost a leathery, musky, animalic feel that the other ones have as well. This is a lot more smoother, a lot more modern smelling, but that's not saying a whole lot. It still is a little more retro, but more modern smelling than the other ones are. Not bad. I'm gonna go ahead and look through the note breakdowns. I'm gonna do these through all of these. This one's apparently very ambery, honey, oud. I do smell the oud, yeah, very medicinal, woody oud. Fresh, spicy, aromatic, yeah, I've got that. People say it's smoky, warm, spicy, sweet. I definitely get the sweetness in it. So the top notes you have are green apple, lavender, orange leaf. Middle notes are incense, lavender, and saffron. Yeah, I get the saffron actually, that spiciness. Yeah, I do get the saffron. That is noticeable. Base notes are honey, agarwood, oud, and red cedar. Again, it is very woody. I don't get the honey yet. I anticipate I probably won't get the honey until I wear it on skin. And that's another thing is like with the oud edition on test strip, you get a lot of that funky animalistic oud and a lot of harsh leather and some spices, but as it dries down on skin, it becomes amazing. It really settles down, smooths out. So I'm imagining the same thing's gonna be at this. It's getting a lot more fruity actually, a lot more sweet as it dries down, but not bad. It's definitely smoothed out. Those openings on the one-man show ones are definitely very harsh. This is way better now it's drying down. We'll try that out later, and we'll put this on the side here. On to the next one here. It is this one here, Club 75, also by Jacques Bogart. This had a very high ranking on Fragrantica. I saw this weeks ago and was wanting to get it because it was very inexpensive from FragranceNet. I didn't know what the fragrance buy price was, but it's actually about the same. So it was, okay, you know, I just gotta pay the extra shipping costs from Canada, but if I'm getting everything else with it, then I'll go ahead and get it. It looked very, very interesting. This is not a suggestion. This is just a, you know, if you want to call it a commercial break, a freebie throw in, that way you can see something you didn't know that you wanted. We'll just say it's a suggestion from me to me, you know, and then maybe it'll be a suggestion from me to you. And just like all the Jacques Bogart ones, Jacques, if you want to say it with the accent, it's all built-in atomizer. And this one actually is a pretty nice bottle. It's see-through, has the name of the fragrance on the front, and has this embossed glass checkered pattern in the back. It's actually very slick. And I think that this is actually a fairly recent release from them, you know, compared to everything else they have. I think maybe more recent than the one-man show Ruby edition. Very excited. I know a little bit what this is about, and that's why I'm very excited to try it out. But let's see. Whoo, that's a water hose of a atomizer. That thing pushed out. I mean, it was like a water park jet. Ooh, I smell it in the air. Oh. Ooh, that is nice. Very, very aromatic, fresh sweetness, very citric. Oh, that is a nice, fresh sweetness. It's a different kind of sweetness than Ruby Edition. Ruby Edition is more fruity sweet. This is more vanillic citric sweet. Oh, this is super nice. This is very, very modern, but very classy as well. This is a clean, fresh sweetness. A little similar, I'd say, it's not a clone and it's not strong similarities, but it's trying to go for the same design and same target. Starwalker Extreme by Mont Blanc or Allurum Sport Eau Extreme, that sweet, sweet freshness. It's trying to go for that kind of style, but in a different way. Oh, it's getting a lot more sweet now. This is very nice. This is extremely nice. This is youthful and mature at the same time, classed up, but yet also very chill. Oh, this is nice, guys. This is super good. Club 75. There's also a even fresher, bluer one called Club 75 VIP, so I want to pick that one up. This is very woody, citrus, amber, lavender, fresh, spicy, cinnamon, powdery. Yeah, I do get the powderiness. You know, I do get the like kind of cinnamon spice quality to it. Top notes are cinnamon, orange, lemon. Middle notes are resins, lavender, and apple. And base notes are sandalwood, cedar, and musk. This is good. It is very spicy. But I definitely got the orange and lemon, that citrus, and it's sweet. It's so sweet. I think it's that resins quality to it, that lavender in here too. They're saying this is more for the core weather, and I can see that now as I was getting down. It was very fresh in the opening, but maybe on skin you get more of those resinous, amber kind of feels. Yeah, that's good. This is good. This is really good. This is a lot more modern smelling than the Bogart Pour Homme, the original Bogart Pour Homme. Yeah, they say this is more for like fall time, winter, and spring. I can see that. I can see this being a wonderful fall spring fragrance, which there is a lot of musk. It is very powdery. Let me know if you get this, guys, what you think about it. This one's a hit. I mean, the Ruby Edition is a hit too, but I think it takes a while to get into what you really want out of it. This is almost immediately what you want out of it. I'm excited to wear this more. Club 75, guys, this is good. The next one is Uomo by Moschino, or Moschino, however you want to say it. I actually do remember who recommended this one. I think my dude Santana Rodriguez out from Texas on my community post recommended this one along with a bunch of other ones, but this one really stood out to me because I have Moschino's Toy Boy. I don't have any other of Moschino's stuff. I'm assuming it's the same company. And I was very interested to try this out. I saw that this is a retro fragrance, and you guys know how I am about retro fragrances. I love my old school scents, so I was very excited. And look at that. Oh, I like the bottle though. Very simplistic but classy style bottle. This actually, I think this came out maybe in the 80s or 90s, but the style of bottle looks like it's back from like the 70s or 60s, so I really do like that. It almost reminds me of the Polo style bottles. All right, let's try this out. Very, very excited. I love my retro stuff. I'll wear it on the regular. I do not mind retro fragrances. Sprayed almost immediately, so this thing got ready. It was rooting and ready for it. Oh, I do smell it though. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. I dig this. This is up my alley. Very citric, fresh, very, very powdery, a little floral. Ooh, very citric though. I'm getting a lot of an orange lemon citrus. This is more of a rindy, almost orange lemon like zest. Like they want you to know that this is a citrus. And almost like a lemon pledge kind of thing, but not in a bad way. I mean, because it smells clean, it makes it smell clean. This is very, very well groomed, well kept, well clean, you know, well shaved, you know, if I can word right. Very barbershop kind of style, almost very Italian kind of barbershop. Aromatic, musky, citric, fresh, yet woody, powdery, aldehydic. You know what? Yeah, there is a little aldehydes. There is some aldehydes in this, which I do really like. I actually don't mind aldehydes. I don't like it where it's a piercing aldehydic quality, especially in certain women's older perfumes. I have gotten to appreciate it more. And actually, when I first sprayed the first rendition of YSL YET, the version that used to be very aldehydic, and I think the EDP is still a little bit, and the Parfum is still very aldehydic. I did not like it at first, but it grew on me after a while. Came out in 1998. I was right, it did come out in the 90s. Oh, Olivia Crisp did this one. Is it Crisp? I keep reading crisp, but I know it's not crisp. Please don't crucify me for that. Top notes are kumquat, aldehydes, coriander, Brazilian rosewood. So there's some florals in this, yeah, that rose. Middle notes are cyclamen, cinnamon, clary sage, labdanum. It does add a little bit of aromatic touch to this. Base notes are musk, yep, ambergris, okay. Cedar and wormwood. I do like this. I do like this. This is very fresh. I can see this perfectly in the spring, summertime, and the early parts of fall. So this is the freshest of the bunch right now. This is probably gonna be the only fresh one of the bunch, but yeah. And it's criminally underrated. Like, it's a shame that this isn't talked about more often. I don't see this mentioned almost at all in the mainstream bigger YouTube channels. Yeah, this is great. This is absolutely wonderful. I love it, really do like it. Now on to the last one. So everything up to this point have been originals. They have been ones that stay on their own. They're not taking reference from anything. They're trying to be something different, some of them more mass appealing, some of them not as much, but this one is the only clone of the bunch. I was very close to getting another clone, but I didn't want this to be a clone heavy video because clones are everywhere. Everyone's talking about them and they're being produced like 50 a day at this point, might as well be. And so I knew that if I want to look for good cheapies, I can just easily get a clone, no problem. But I wanted to find some things too that were original, that were things that I've seen a little bit here and there, but didn't get to try. But this is a clone. So this is the only clone of the video, and it comes from Lattafa, and this is Ensemble Silver. And I do already have an idea of what this one is about because of the hype I've seen in the community. So it's not gonna really ruin it for me because the fragrance that this is cloning, I actually do not have, and I've been really wanting to get. Maybe this will actually hold me off, or maybe I won't have to end up getting the original at all because of this one. But we may never know if I cannot get this plastic off. Lift off. I don't get to see what it looks like though. Ooh, looks like it jogged around in there. I don't want it to fall. Definitely not bad. It's a matte black bottle, rectangle, tall, very nice cap, by the way. Has the same kind of floral pattern on the shape of the cap as there is on the front here on some silver. by La Toffa Pride. So this is their Pride line. I'm guessing this is like one of their, I wouldn't say higher end because this wasn't really that expensive. It was like $27, I think, maybe $29. Not gonna lie, very, very excited about this one because I know what it's cloning. It's been a while since I've smelled what it's cloning, but I know what it's cloning, and I'm excited to finally have something that's in that scent profile in my collection. And it's, from what I know, it's gonna be perfect for the time of year that we're in now. Nice atomizer, probably the nicest of the day, even though the Club 75 was a like powerhouse when it, you know, it just like drenched it. And Lord, does it smell good. It smells really good. Okay. Oh, this is loud, son. And here I thought the Bogart one was gonna be the one that filled the room, but this is super loud. Oh yeah. Very, very, very sweet. Almost bubblegummy, almost caramel, but it has a lot of freshness on the top actually. Very, very fresh, a little fruity. I do get a bubblegum kind of thing in here. I don't know if it's like, I'm guessing it's like ethyl maltol. They're probably using to sweeten that up. If I was Aaron Hughes, I'd say it's whipping through the base, but I don't know if it is or not. I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, very fruity, fresh, sweet on the top. A little bubblegumish. I don't really get anything else. Maybe a little bit of spice, but I really don't know. A little bit of musk in there as well. It gives it some lift. If I'm not mistaken, this is cloning Azzaro, I think the Most Wanted. Aromatic, vanilla, warm spicy, yep, ambery, citrus, yep, powdery, lavender, balsamic. Top notes are cardamom and bergamot. Middle notes are davana, lavender. Base notes are vanilla, amber, and patchouli. So the bergamot is actually more citric, I guess, than fruity. Maybe I got my words mixed up, but yeah. Oh, it's drying down very quickly. The freshness is leaving. That citric part is leaving. That almost fresh airiness is leaving. It's starting to get more dense, more spicy, a lot more spicy, more into the lavender, way more into the vanilla. And I might not be able to pick up the patchouli until I wear it on skin. Yeah, very warm and ambery too. But again, I may not be able to pick up majority of that until it's on skin. This is good. I'm getting, whoa. Ooh, I'm getting a lot more of that lavender and a little bit of an aromatic facet to it. Maybe that davana? Yeah, that davana, an herbal bitter green note. That's what I'm getting, that aromatic nature in it. Could have sworn it was something that was like a sage or something, but yeah, nice. Definitely has layers to it, you know, the top, mid, and base. This is fantastic. Yeah, and a huge compliment getter as usual. I mean, as you'd expect from a scent profile like this. But you know what? You know what? The only surefire way to know how any of these are actually going to smell on me is if I actually wear them. So, I'm gonna do something very different. At the request of those who are on my live stream, I am going to actually be wearing these throughout the rest of this week as much as I can and get familiar with them. And then I'm gonna come back and do a second part to this video that is going to be what I think about all of them. I might not do this to all of the suggested ones, and I might not even do this to all of my blind buys, because usually, like you've seen my rack store hauls and all that, I'll just smell them in the video and then move on with it and maybe talk about them later in a different video. But just because you suggested these to me, I feel like I should put time into it and actually wear it and see what I think about it and give you, I guess, the full view of what I think about it rather than just a first impression. So give me just a few days with these, even though for you it'll be just a few seconds, and I'll be right back and let you know what I think about these. All right, everyone, I am back. It has been a week, and you can tell it's a different video because I have a different shirt on. So I've given some time with these, the ones that you've all suggested to me. I've worn them, seeing how the performance was, seeing how it's dried down and reacted on my skin, just to give you a better image and insight into how these smell in case you don't already have these, and also to all of you who suggested these to show you that I did like them, I did enjoy them, that I was intending to get them and wear them, and I want to put the time into actually talking about them. Let's start off with the first one that I opened up. It was this one here, Jacques Bogart's One Man Show Ruby Edition. So in my first impression, I did say that it was definitely noticeably sweet, noticeably fruity, a little musky. It definitely had that One Man Show DNA in it, but I really couldn't tell how it smelled on skin. There's a lot of people who said that it has a honey kind of note to it, and I wanted to see if that was true. So what I got overall with this is exactly like on the test strip. It is a very noticeably sweeter version of the One Man Show DNA. It still most clearly has that scent profile in it, that almost animalic retro throwback muskiness, but it's still unmistakably a Jacques Bogart style, and you do get a noticeable amount of sweetness. It's a little more modern, a little more smooth than the other one-man shows that I've smelled. It is definitely the sweetest of the bunch, the smoothest and most enjoyable, and probably the most appealing out of those. And to me, it does get into a spiciness, a noticeable saffron note. Quickly gets into some woods. I really can't tell if there actually is an oud note in here, even though it's listed in the note breakdown. But then the question comes in as, do I get any of that honey note that people attribute this with? And I gotta say, I really don't notice if it actually is honey unless you're looking for that note. If you know that note's in here and you spray it, as it goes into the dry down, you can pick out faint whiffs of it, but it's not an overly honey-induced fragrance. Now, maybe over time, as this macerates, as I want to say with all of these, more of those qualities might come out in this. But overall, this is just a musky, spicy, fruity, sweet fragrance, very airy, not so dense, but still not something that I'd wear in the warmer weather. Definitely more tolerable in the colder months, but I can see this being on a date. I can see this in formal gatherings, anytime at nighttime, maybe even the daytime in colder weather would be appropriate, but it's a more fun, the more lively, modern, like I said, take on the one-man show DNA. As far as performance, it is a fairly good projector. I say average for that first hour, then it really settles down quickly into being a good skin scent. It still keeps that same sweetness to it. It gets a little more dense, but not too much on the skin. But I will say it quickly gets into a powdery kind of sweetness. After that first hour mark, it settles down quickly to the skin. And to me, longevity on this is about like 4 or 5 hours. So a little under average in my opinion. Now again, this is how my first time wearing it was like. Maybe over time it'll change. Maybe my nose got tired. Maybe the circumstances just wasn't the best. But as far as my first time wearing it, which was a full wearing all over myself, I got about 5 hours out of it. It was still very pleasant. It was a good skin scent, but it did dry down pretty quickly. And even while it dried down quickly, it did last for the rest of that remaining time, but it was more intimate projection, but still a very, very good buy. Again, I think it's the most likable out of the one-man show line. It still has a little bit of a mature edge to it because it is in that profile, but I think this does lend itself to being more youthful, and I can see young guys trying to pick this out and trying it out in the cold. And I will say, if you want something that's in that style and profile, but sweeter, fruitier, a little more modern, I would definitely go for this one. The next one that I opened up was this one here. It was not actually a suggestion from you all, but I've seen it around forever. Haven't seen anyone talk about it, but yet it has really good ratings online. It is another Jacques Bogart fragrance, but it is Club 75. So I knew a little bit about this before I sprayed it. I knew it was gonna be sweet and vanillic and maybe a little fruity, but I did not expect the style of it. And when it came across, like before, when I first sprayed this, I do get a lot of vanillic sweetness, but it's a little fresh. It has a little bit of a fruitiness, a little bit of a citric quality to it, not like the one-man show Ruby edition where that was more fruit heavy and a powdery sweetness. This definitely had a way more vanillic style sweetness to it. Very fresh. I saw someone online say that this smells like an oatmeal raisin cookie, and I actually really do see that, but it's not too dense. It has, like I said, a fluffiness to it, a good bit of airiness about it. It's very, very modern, way more so than the one-man show style. This is completely different from anything else Jacques Bogart's done. I will say it may be a tad similar to the original Bogart Pour Homme, but this is way more modern, fresh on it. It doesn't have a lot of those wood facets to it. It doesn't have that tobacco nuance. This just has a lot of lavender in it behind it, a little bit of an ambery, warm resinous nature to it as well. A little bit of woods. It does get a little powdery toward the middle, but it's still overall through and through keeps that vanillic sweet style that is very attractive, actually, very well appealing, very sexy. This is a killer cold weather day night fragrance. I can see this on a date. I can see this hanging out with friends. It also has a good bit of cinnamon, a little spice to it, which I think adds to that oatmeal raisin cookie style. And it has sandalwood in the base, which adds a little bit of creaminess to it. So you're looking at a fresh vanilla, fluffy, creamy, cinnamon spicy, very fruity and ambery warm fragrance with, like I said, that citric fresh quality up to the front. It's also very smooth, very well put together. Nothing really sticks out too much. The only thing with this is that some people may not like, it is not that complex. It's a very simple, very linear fragrance. It's going to smell almost the same when you spray at the beginning as in the end, which some people may like because the opening is very nice. So you're going to get that all the way through, but it's not going to have a lot of complexity. It's not going to have a journey and a change over time like how some people might like. But honestly, with this style the way it is, I don't see any kind of complaint with that. I think it works perfect for what it is. I think it might even make a good layering fragrance if you want to add something that's more woody or that's more spicy or more herbaceous, you know, like a tobacco fragrance on top of this. I think that would be a perfect fit. My only thing with this is performance. It's a very good performer as far as projection. For that first, I'd say 45 minutes to an hour, very loud, has a beautiful sillage to it. In the air, when people are around you or you're catching whiffs of it, it is just gorgeous. I kept wanting to smell it on myself because it has that addictive sweetness to it. But as far as longevity, I say I got around the same as the One Man Show Ruby Edition, about 5 hours, maybe 6, depending on if, you know, what you're doing, if you wear it off too quickly or not. But then again, over time, it can macerate, it might get better and be even longer, or, you know, with the kind of simple linear profile it is, maybe my nose was getting tired, so it could have lasted even longer and I just didn't know it. Really good surprise with this one. I really do like this. I'm gonna be visiting this a lot in the coming colder months, and I would highly suggest anyone to try this out. This is just spectacular, a hidden gem, and I think I even picked this up for like $19, $20 at Fragrance Buy, so a really, really good price, and similar price elsewhere as well in case you can't find it on there. But overall, really excellent. Absolutely love this one, and again, highly suggest you try this out and see what you think about it. The next one that I looked at was this one here, Moschino's Uomo. So this one I really, really, really like. Probably my second favorite out of the ones here, but it is very different because unlike all of these here, this is a freshie and it is more retro old school than these here. Came out in 1998, right up my alley. It still has that same kind of retro style to it, which I love. You know, I have a soft spot for it. And this was super enjoyable to wear. I'm surprised that I have not even heard about this one that much online. It wasn't that expensive at all either. I think it was only like maybe $26 at Fragrance Buy for a full-size bottle, so super good. So what I got with this one from the first impressions, again, was that it was very fresh, very citric. I said it had a lemon pledge, cleaner, but not in a bad way, almost rindy citric quality to it. It did have some aromatics. It was a little powdery, soapy, and that stood true even when I wore it, but it did actually change on that dry down. So when I sprayed it at first, you're gonna get a huge blast of a almost citric, fruity quality that is super fresh, super almost aquatic, almost ozonic, very effervescent. It has some aldehydes notes in this, which add to that sparkling kind of effect, and I really do like it. Usually I don't like aldehydes, but when I wore this one, it worked very well on my skin. It matched the citruses perfectly. It was just a good opening experience. It also had a lot of musk to it, giving it that lift and that airy quality still. Then you get into a lot of the powderiness. A lot of the florals actually really start coming out then in the mid. Things like the cyclamen, the labdanum, that clary sage comes out as well, adding a good bit of aromatic nature to it. And that aromatic nature actually really goes into the further dry down from the middle into the base notes as well. A little bit of the woods come out. Of course, you have that ambergris in there, that musk. and a tad bit, again, that woodiness really backs up everything. Another interesting note is that the citric quality that I thought I was getting was actually coming from the kumquat note in there, which add a different kind of fruity citric kind of aspect to it. I still think there had to be some kind of lemon in here that just is not there. Maybe it's just the nuance to it, that everything together makes it smell like it. This is overall a super classy, very clean, fresh fragrance. I don't think it's dated at all. I think it will stand the test of time along with the best of them as being one that you can wear, you know, most of the year, probably aside from the super cold months, but definitely spring, summer, and even fall time, all through that. I mean, formal gatherings, you know, a good church fragrance if you want it for that, you know, out and about, family get-togethers, whatnot. And performance on this is actually not skimping at all. It is just an eau de toilette, and it's meant to be a very, you know, powdery, fresh, soapy fragrance, but it has some good stain power to it. Pretty good projection, again, for the first 45 minutes, maybe even an hour. Of course, eau de toilettes tend to project even louder because of how, you know, the concentration is, more alcohol, more volatile materials like the citruses and all that, just coming off way brighter. But the longevity is what really surprised me, because I could even smell this on my skin almost 7 hours into the day. I put it on early that morning, had a lot of things to do with family and errands through that day and mid part, came in that afternoon and could still smell it on me almost into the nighttime. And it was really more of the powdery, again, that clary sage, the aromatic, and those woods that stuck with it. It was a good skin scent, not too loud obviously by that point, but the fact that it still stayed on even for that long is a testament to its power. Super, super enjoyable, and again, it's right up my alley with the retro kind of style. I will definitely be giving this a lot more wears. Highly recommend it to anyone out there if you want a good, mature, classy, masculine freshie that is not everything that everyone's going to know about. This is a super good one to get, and I highly recommend it. Now to the last one that I opened up, and is actually the most recent one that I've worn, and I even still have some of it on me now. It is this one here, Lattafa Pride Ensemble Silver. So this one, it was an obvious clone of Azzaro's The Most Wanted, some people say even The Most Wanted Parfum, and even Wanted by Night. It's anything around that style, that bubblegum sweet, vanillic, ambery, aromatic kind of fragrance. And that's exactly what you get out of this one. This is a most notably vanilla forward fragrance. You do get a lot of aromatics in the background and some warm ambers and a little bit of patchouli. I will say when you spray this on, you're gonna immediately get hit with that very, very noticeable sweetness, almost bubblegum sweetness, but with more of the vanilla coming up beside it. Very similar to the Stronger With You DNA by Giorgio Armani. Any of the Stronger With Yous, especially the original and Intensely, it's going to really remind you of those, minus that chestnut kind of quality, but still that bubblegum style sweetness, not really so much the Invictus style. It kind of has its own little take on it, a lot of vanilla, and really in the background, and even more as it's drying down, you do get a little bit of an aromatic, herbaceous nature with that Davana that's in it. This is also a very lavender heavy fragrance, which makes it lean very masculine as well. Very noticeable in that. There is some cardamom on the top too. It adds just a tad bit of spice, but it's not really too powdery, not really too spicy, just enough to add a little bit of fluffy kind of quality to it. And you really get into some ambers in this. It's a tad musky, it does have that warmth to it, and a little bit of patchouli as it really dries down. But overall, the star of the show is going to be that vanilla, super sweet, but this is also extremely smooth. Probably the smoothest Lattafa that I own aside from By the Al Oud Honor and Glory. The vanilla and sweetness in this are not too dense, they're not piercing, they are extremely smooth. This is literally designer level quality, if not a little above that. I mean, this is giving Azzaro brand a run for its money. It's so smooth, very well rounded, very well blended, nothing sticks out. There's no stray hairs, no frays. It's just extremely well made. And of course, this is in the Lattafa Pride collection. This is kind of like their step up from their regular stuff. Anything you see that says Lattafa Pride, you can guarantee that it's going to be very good quality. And this wasn't that expensive either. I think it was like maybe $27 at Fragrance Buy, which is ridiculous, like I said, for the quality that you're getting out of this. It warmed my skin very nicely, an excellent experience while I could smell it. The only thing with this as of now is the performance. There's a lot of people online saying this thing lasts forever, it's super loud, it just goes on, but in my experience, though limited, when I wore this, the projection was very good for that first hour, hour and a half. It was very loud, had an amazing sillage to it. Everyone was asking me what I was wearing, they loved it. But the longevity was very, very short. And I don't know if it's because I might have been going nose blind to it, or with what I was doing while I was wearing it, just wore it off too quickly. Maybe I got too hot. Maybe I didn't spray enough on. I don't know. All I know is it didn't really last me that long. If I had to measure it, I would say it was about maybe 5 hours at the max from the last time that I could really smell it on my skin if I moved around. However, before you go commenting on this, I will say as a disclaimer, Lattafa, as well as a sub-brand Maison Alhambra, as well as really every other Middle Eastern brand, are known for their fragrances to mature and get better over time with maceration. And I found that to be true even by myself, that once I leave it for a little bit, maybe even a couple weeks, let some oxygen be introduced to it, let it just macerate and have some time to sit, that I'm pretty sure not only will the scent profile be even better, I also anticipate that the performance will improve as well. So as of now, the performance is not that great for me. The projection is pretty good, but longevity is not. But maybe if I give it some time, let it sit and do its thing, that it will improve. And as it does, I will definitely let all of you know. But even so, this is an incredible fragrance and release and a fantastic cologne. I'm super excited to be wearing this a lot more, especially as the colder days start coming in. Hopefully, I will definitely be picking this out a lot more. Again, guys, thank you so much for your participation and your involvement in this, for giving me these suggestions here. And if you suggested something and I didn't happen to pick it up, don't fret. Leave that suggestion, even comment at me more times in other videos, just as a reminder, because I will be doing another suggestion by sometime probably next year, hopefully at the beginning of the year, and you'll have another chance to let me know, and hopefully next one can be even bigger. I know that I filled up one of the spots on my own, but I'm still glad that I got it. I don't regret that. But great suggestions, guys. Thank you for these. I enjoy all of them. I'll continue wearing them. I'll feature them more later in other videos. I really do appreciate all of you who even just comment on these videos and involve in my live streams. It does mean a lot to me. I just love the community. I love being able to talk to you. I love connecting to you. And I love being able to have, again, community, people who enjoy the same things as I do. And again, guys, I'm very thankful that you even consider watching these videos and even listen to me and taking my advice. I'm, again, no professional in this. I just do this for fun as a hobby. I experience it and try it out myself and just let you know what I think about it. And hopefully you can share some of the same experiences. If you have any other suggestions, any other things you think I should look at, whether it be from this kind of video or just something to do and check out in the future, let me know in the comments below. What do you think about this kind of video? Do you like it? Do you enjoy it? Would you like to see something else like that? If you do, let me know, and even consider giving the video a like if you enjoy it. And if you're watching this video and you happen to not be subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing, just showing some support. Let me know, hit the notification bell so you can see things I do in the future. There's a lot that I have planned, a lot of things that I'd love to have you ride along with me in doing, and hopefully I can even help you discover something new as well. And as usual, guys, that's all I have for today's video. Apologies if it ended up being a longer one. There's a lot of stuff I was trying to do in it, but again, thank you for watching, and I do hope that you enjoyed it. As usual, I will see all of you again in the next one. Be blessed.